Good morning, everyone. Well, good evening when you're watching it again. Welcome back to, this is episode 29, I think it is now. Just a little update on what I've been doing. It's Wednesday, so I'm going back to work over in Wales now. So yesterday, I had to go get some tyres fitted on the BMW. So we had a bit of a short day, but as you can see here, I fitted the little brackets that go in the back doors, just to stop because it's made out of carbon fibre. It's quite thin. It's got quite a bit of flex in it, and I noticed when I was travelling, I road tested it ages ago, last year, and the back window would come out. Obviously, the high pressure inside the car was going to where the low pressure is outside the car. So I put some little retaining clips, little eBay little. Well, you can see them here, them little ball joint things, but that's all I'm doing here, just fitting the brackets to the chassis. I just wanted to interrupt the video because I just wanted to make a little note. It wasn't actually me that this idea originated from. It was Sergio. So shout out to Sergio. Basically, when you get these, I don't know if you'd be familiar with them. They're all over eBay, fakes and real ones and whatever. They're a push button quick release. I don't know if you can you see that? Should be able to. Yeah, just focus on it. It's like has a little pin, and you can mount that wherever you want. You can get long ones, short ones, whatever. A lot of people use it on like bumpers and stuff. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd use an aero catch because these fail, but they basically snap in like that, and then you push the button in the center, and it pops out. So you will have just seen on the time lapse. I've just been putting them on. I'll spin it on and show you. Just been putting them there on the. Where are we? There we are. You can see on the back door, like here and here. You can see them anyway. And basically, one of them's failed on the other side, so I'll show you on the time lapse, me changing it. But I've got some new ones. I have spare ones of these anyway. But what I tend to do is, I don't know how that one's failed. I think it's just got rusty inside because it's steel inside, brass and steel. But anyway, what I do is I take the little nut off. I get some like internal side clip pliers, and it's got these just happen to be, you can get from Halford's laser ones, CV6140 if you want these ones, but they have two little pin holes like there and there. You probably have a tool that the Chinese will make, maybe, or in the warehouse they'll have. Basically, turn it out. When you get so far, you can then undo it just with your fingers, and then push the center, out. It'll all come out as a one-piece like button. You can discard this for a minute, and then what I tend to do is have a look at the threads, clean them up with a bit of brake cleaner. I've already thread locked this in the past. They was real tough to get off. Obviously, I've got them brand new and thread locked them, so that they're ready to go for future for myself. But just get a bit of medium strength. This is Bond Lock. Just thread lock, I don't know what it is, thread lock and seal, B243 Bond Lock, whatever. Anyway, any thread lock will do, I suppose, like a medium strength one. There is very minimal amounts of threads on there, but just dab a bit of thread lock on there. That was too much, and put it back together, and simply it'll stop it coming off. There's no I've put too much on there. Baby wipes to the rescue. So get that wipe off on the front. But yeah, and then put it back together as you would any other bolt that you thread lock in. Put it back together, tighten it up with them circlip. I just found they work well, these things with the two holes. Yeah, that's it. Do it nice and tight, put it back in the car, and then you'll not have them falling off. On Brands Hatch last year, I had this is where Sergio told me. I had issues with the splitter because I was like testing, you know, it was when I'd first made the splitter. So I was having all sorts of issues. But this was one of them, the air dam. Tighten that good and tight. The air dam is actually secured on the corners with these. I mean, it doesn't matter if they fail, they're not in a critical thing, but it just stops the side of the air dam flapping around. And they failed, and I said to Sergio, the centre's completely gone over me. He's like, yeah, it's pretty common. And he told me about this, so I thought I'd just pass it on for anyone fitting these. Useful little point. But yeah, put you back to time lapse anyway. See you in a bit. So yeah, as I just said in that little snippet, I'm just refitting the new one of the little release catches back into the driver's side rear door, because I think, as I said, I think the internals of it had rusted up, you know, and I was just trying it with the ball going into the thing and into the actual push button thing, and it wasn't working. So I got some spares, so I just thought I'd swap it. But that's all I'm doing here, just unbolting it, putting a bit of thread lock on, and then I'm doing the same as what I've done the other side. So good working practices from work here. It's not quite going quite as far as the drill ream, but the you know, the quality of the hull. I'm just going up in incremental, you know, drill sizes, just to get the, I can't remember what size it is, I think it's 8mm maybe, which is the size that the riv nut needs for an M6 riv nut. And then I'm just riv nutting it in, as you can see there. Yeah, one of them little jobs that in my head takes 5 minutes. It probably took an hour, you know, just to mess about and get it finished off. After that, I went and did the other side, this side, passenger side, splitter bracket, because my dad was coming last night to cut the front splitter down with me, with he's a joiner, so he's got his jigsaw and a router and that. So yeah, you can see me here crudely. I ain't got a big enough drill bit to deburr them holes, so I'm just using a little die grinder. But basically, I'm putting M10, a bit overkill, but M10 riv nuts into the little alloy plate, and then M10 into the chassis, straight into the chassis leg. And Sergio messaged me after I did the other side video the other day, and he was talking about maybe putting diagonal bolts, you know, so there was some strength forward and backwards. But if anything, if I go off onto the grass like I did at Cadwell, I want there to be a little bit of movement backwards, so it bends the brackets rather than bending the car or the splitter, or, you know what I mean. So the only thing that is doing is just supporting downward force or upward force. It's not really, it is to an extent, it'll go backwards and forwards support wise, but it's not really its purpose. It's just downward support. The one at the back that I put on the other day, you couldn't really see, but it's like 2 L brackets with 2 bolts that locate in. That sort of does forward and backwards play. And then also, in addition to that, I've got 2 more to put on. You can't see here, but onto the front subframe. Same principle, just a bit wider. I ain't got it here, the bracket, but it's just a piece of maybe 4mm, 3mm alloy. Here I've just cut a piece of plywood 100mm long, and I'm just scribing around the front air dam, so there's going to be no discrepancies with regards to screwing ears, you know, well, that's 10mm wider, or I've gone exactly off the air dam, which is the furthest most point of the car, the silhouette of the car. I did think the side skirts actually come out 50mm, so I could actually go off those on the sides, but I'd rather just do it 100mm, then we know it's right. We're not going to have any issues with disqualified lap times or anything like that. So 100mm all the way around, and then my dad's just got I think he's got a downward cutting fine tooth jigsaw blade here. Do you know, so it doesn't burst all the surface of it's actually phenolic plywood, that like what they use on trailer beds. But he's cutting around, pretty straightforward, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't splinter up all the top surface, so it looks quite neat. Yeah, so after he's done this, he just goes around and cleans that front edge up, because there's a couple of ripples in it, just with the orbital sander. Then here we're testing the router depth, you know, to see what type of bullnose I want on the leading edge of the splitter. We got it right, got the right bit in the end, and then my dad just goes around and routers that front leading edge just to leave a nice finish. I'm going to satin black it again, same as it was, just to, not really to seal the front edge because it's sealed. I don't know how they make that phenolic stuff, but I presume it's compressed and then has the resin injected into it, whatever. But just for aesthetics really, just waft over it, clean it up. It's a bit dirty as well from the Cadwell incident when we went on the grass. I went for a bit of grass cutting. Yeah, that's it really. I think it's just putting a bit of taking the sharp edge off the bottom. We couldn't do the bullnose on the bottom like what I did originally because we didn't have the right bit. Do you know the right the long story? The bearing on the end of the bit is too far down. So when you've taken the bullnose off the top, if you go around to do the bottom edge, the bearing then sits on the bullnose that you've just made. So it's not ideal. So you'd need like a real fine, like a smaller bit with a bearing that's much shorter down on the router bit, if that makes sense. But I did it last time. Well, my granddad had a router bit, but we didn't have it this time, so we just cleaned off that front edge. But yeah, as I say, I've popped here anyway this morning to grab the other door. What else did I do? Can't remember. I've got the other door anyway, and I'm going to go and make the mould, well, prep it to make the mould. I'll try and get some footage as well. I'll take the GoPro with me, but yeah, I'm going to leave it there anyway because I've got to be at work in 3 hours and it's a 2-hour drive, so I don't want to be any traffic or anything. But yeah, tune into the next episode, and I might be doing, depending on when the delivery's coming, I might be doing a bit of an unveiling. We've got something quite interesting to reveal, so I won't go into it anymore. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, tune into the next episode and take it easy.